Greetings all! Today, we will be examining the uncommon electric-type Pokemon Elekid, its relatively rare evolution Electabuzz, the two collectively known as the Electric Pokémon, and their final, exceptionally rare evolution Electivire, the Thunderbolt Pokémon. A shocking threat to any and all that underestimate them, the members of the Elekid family are feisty beasts that can send a shockwave of power radiating out towards all that get in their way.
Elekid have yellow ovoid bodies with small digiless feet and thin upper arms that come to thicker forearms with two black stripes each and a trio of small sharp claws. Their head is a pair of rectangular horns with holes in them that together resemble an electrical plug. Their beady black eyes and fanged mouth give them a playful but vicious appearance. The evolved form Electabuzz retain a bit of a bottom-heavy ovoid shape to their form, but with black zigzagging stripes across their torso and repeated black marks across the arms, supported with two clawed feet and hands that have a full 5 digits, including opposable thumbs. Their canines have grown noticeably in size, and the head is now adorned with a pair of hair outgrowths on their forehead and a pair of antenna-like structures with rounded bulb-like heads, additionally being adorned on the posterior with a new yellow and black striped tail. Their final evolution, Electivire, have a similar color pattern on their bodies, but their fingers and feet have turned black, with 3 claws on each of their feet, and a pair of black tails that end with bright red tips. Their eyes have turned a blood red color, and their entire form as a whole is much more muscled, though most of it is hidden beneath a thick coat of shaggy hair that covers their body. At a young age, unlike most electric-type Pokemon, the members of the Elekid family do not possess any special organs that can generate and store electricity. Such organs do not develop until Elekid evolve into Electabuzz, and the initial lack of said organs alters the physiology in a way that skews their gender ratio 3:1 in favor of males. Instead, Elekid rotate their arms around at high speeds, converting the kinetic energy of their motion into an electrical current internally before discharging it out of their hands or horns.
Unfortunately, because they are still quite young, Elekid are prone to fatigue and can only rotate their arms for a short period of time before they have to rest.
As such, Elekid will often choose alternative methods of electrically charging themselves in the wild if presented the opportunity, with lightning storms usually being the biggest attractor. Elekid absolutely love lightning storms and will gleefully and restlessly play around in a rowdy fashion while one is present, hoping to get struck and fully charged by a bolt of lightning. Their evolutions are more direct in their actions, actively competing against one another to reach the highest point possible in an area during a storm, as a greater height usually means a greater chance of being struck by lightning. People in poorer areas have come to rely on them as lightning rods to protect their homes in turn. Thankfully, young domesticated specimens can be trained to instead use electrical outlets in homes like baby bottles, sucking on them slowly in order to replenish their electrical energy reserves, and the recorded or even active sound of crashing thunder can easily be used to improve their mood almost immediately if they are feeling down. Needless to say, these creatures love electricity and will do just about anything to feed on it, making them a very common sight around power plants where they are regarded as both a threat and a nuisance, oftentimes causing blackouts from straining said plants too much.
This penchant for power is directly reflected in their abilities, as well as the sheer amount of power coursing through the bodies of Elekid and Electabuzz make touching them a shocking mistake, granting them access to static as their only base ability. Electivire are able to absorb electricity directed at them with ease, granting them access to the rare motor drive ability as their only base ability. All three are linked, however, in that those that are coursing with so much power that it affects their sleep cycles can all have Vital Spirit as their hidden ability.
In terms of stats, in looking at Electivire, it can be said that as electric types, these creatures are quite powerful and able to make good use of their forms to take the brunt of attacks and deal immense damage back with physical strikes, so the majority of their base stats are above average for a fully evolved electric type Pokemon. The only base stats that fall behind are the base defense and special attack stats, not being suited for taking physical blows or delivering special attacks as fiercely as some others, but this does little to take away from the sheer power they can show, especially given that they still possess the highest base attack stat out of all non-legendary electric-type Pokemon. Elekid are at a bit of a disadvantage in battle because their bodies act as tiny electrical conductors for electricity coming both in and out. In other words, they can't contain their electricity if they come into contact with another electrical conductor, such as metal. The slightest contact with such materials will cause Elekid to lose all of their stored electricity, forcing them to recharge. On the other hand, this does make Elekid slightly dangerous to simply be around, as a weak electric current flows throughout their bodies at all times, the electrical charge is strongest at their horns, which glow blue when the creatures are fully charged, so any unwary traveler foolish enough to put their hands between the horns will receive a mild electrical shock. The easiest way to deal with an Elekid is to watch its movements carefully and predict its attacks before it acts. If the space between the horns begins to flicker a bright blue as they rotate their arms, it means the Elekid are charging up energy for a major thunder shock attack. In terms of overall power, these wee beasties are nonetheless an even match for Pokemon like Togedemaru, who they often fight with in the wild if they try to steal their electricity, proving that they are powerful creatures even in their infant state. Electricity courses throughout the bodies of Electabuzz constantly, in turn making them a hazard to simply be around. Electabuzz are not fully capable of storing the electricity within their bodies and are thus always discharging small amounts, normally in amounts greater than what they eat on a regular basis, but this is mainly because their bodies are already filled with vast quantities of electrical charge. As such, their bodies glow an eerie blue in the dark and make the hairs of anyone nearby stand up straight. Electabuzz also possess, as luck would have it, an apparent speech impediment that makes any sort of speech translation difficult for humans. This is most likely a product of their reliance on controlled electric currents to communicate among members of their own species.
It is finally important to note that, unlike most electric types, Electabuzz are able to attack with significant physical force and often choose to do so with electrically charged punches. As such, it comes as no surprise that Electabuzz were the first Pokemon witnessed using the powerful Thunder Punch attack, and are outdone by few other electric-type Pokemon with it outside of their evolved form.
However, this does come with one major drawback for Electabuzz. In order to give their Thunder Punch attacks an extra boost in power, Electabuzz will usually swing their arms around like windmills to slightly increase the kinetic energy of their fists. Such an action often gives opponents a chance to flee before it's too late, leaving Electabuzz without a target to strike and in a bad mood. Electabuzz are considered to be the fully adult form of their evolutionary line and are thus unable to evolve under most circumstances. However, when exposed to certain types of radiation and high voltage simultaneously, Electabuzz will rapidly mutate into Electivire. For convenience purposes, the specific type of radiation needed is often packaged within items called electrolyzers, which only activate when an Electabuzz holding one is traded. This mutation causes Electabuzz to grow considerably in size, weight, and strength, increasing the overall muscle mass tremendously. In addition, the mutation causes Electivire to grow a pair of tails, each of which is either positively or negatively charged. This appears to be an adaptation to close-quarters combat, allowing Electivire to attack from at least some relative distance. Electivire will do whatever it takes to get close to an opponent, even if it means taking the brunt of many attacks. Once in range, Electivire will shove their electricity-spewing tails onto their opponent and let loose over 20,000 volts of electricity all at once, with the voltage increasing when they get into a heated battle, as the amount of voltage they put out is proportional to their pulse. Or may even grip them to deliver a devastating Thunder Punch attack, oftentimes dealing considerable damage and even incapacitating or instantly burning their opponent to a crisp in the process.
This increase in power allows a single one of these beasts to produce enough electrical energy to power all the buildings in a city for an entire year, and is in turn represented in their electric-type moves they learn, as they are the only members of their family able to naturally learn the Ion Deluge technique.
Compared to their pre-evolved form, the massive increase in size that evolution provides slows Electivire down a bit, making their base speed equal to that of an Elekid. On the other hand, their physical strength is beyond unimaginable and is often incredibly surprising to first-time opponents. This immense strength in particular is what allows Electivire to learn moves like Rock Slide and Earthquake via artificial methods, and they are further one of the only known electric-type Pokemon capable of naturally learning the devastating Giga Impact attack and possess the strongest Thunder Punch attack out of all known species of Pokemon. It should also be noted, however, that evolution alters the electrical brain activity of Electabuzz for the worse, making Electivire mean-spirited and often cruel towards weaker Pokemon. These beasts actively abuse and torture weaker creatures for sheer enjoyment, tearing apart nests and all but killing their inhabitants. While stronger opponents can often fight them off in the wild, many nests and families in the wild nonetheless fall victim to destruction by their hands. Their terrifying power is displayed even more so when they are excited, as they will thump their chests with their fists in a display of power before attacking ferociously, the sound of thunder ringing in the air and electrical sparks flying everywhere with each thump. As such, Electivire are exceptionally hard for trainers to befriend and control, making them rare among all but the most efficient and well-disciplined of trainers.
With more than a bit of bite to them even at a young age, the members of the Elekid family are feisty creatures that can more than bring power into a confrontation that non-ground types will have to be wary of. You might have to go out of your way to get them to a fully powered state, but the effort can be more than worth it once you witness the kind of physical prowess these beasts can bring to any fight.
Just do yourself a favor and make sure to wear protection before ever trying to handle these creatures. You might just get a weak shock at first, but go all the way with them, and you might find yourself at the mercy of their immense electrical power, if you don't simply get crushed into the ground below you first for invading their personal space.
Thank you all for watching this video. It is always a pleasure to help teach others about the world of Pokemon and the many facets of it that exist in both the world we call home and the world they call home. If you'd like, please leave a comment and subscribe and ring the bell to this channel to get regular updates on content and anything else that might be going on. You can find me and my written work on DeviantArt under the name Titus, and be informed of information and content uploads on my Twitter page and my Patreon page. Donations are always welcome. Always remember, the world of Pokemon is a vast and varied place, and there's no telling what secrets might be hiding just around the corner. So keep watch, stay vigilant, and always prepare for the unexpected. Until next time, have a wonderful rest of the day.